So I've said it once, I'll say it again. Bernie Sanders is on fire lately, and he is quickly emerging as the most prominent politician in America because all of his policy ideas are starting to catch on. And he's not even president, but he's still having a huge effect. He's had a greater impact on policy than Donald Trump has, and Donald Trump is the incoming president. So Bernie Sanders, he's just on fire, and he's really fighting for progressive values. Now, to show just how Bernie Sanders' ideas are catching on, New York will be the first state to implement free college tuition, and they're basically just copying and pasting Bernie Sanders' plan. The New York Times reports Governor Andrew Cuomo seized on a potent issue that energized younger Democrats during the presidential race, pledging on Tuesday to cover tuition costs at state colleges for hundreds of thousands of middle and low-income New Yorkers. Under the governor's plan, college students who have been accepted to a state or city university in New York, including two-year community colleges, would be eligible provided they or their family earn $125,000 or less a year. Now, this is a victory that's monumental for progressives because it's not just about New York, even though that's really important and they're a very populous state, so this would benefit millions of Americans. Well, this could have a domino effect, so we could see tuition-free colleges in New York, and then California, and maybe Oregon, Washington, and pretty soon we could see nationwide tuition-free college policies. So this is great, and Bernie Sanders was fired up when he was talking about it.
At a time when we have a president-elect who thinks it's a great idea to give hundreds of billions of dollars in tax breaks to the top 0.2%, we have a better idea. And that idea is to make public colleges and universities tuition-free for every person in New York State, in Vermont, and in America. If New York State does it this year, mark my words, state after state will follow.
Now, this is a plan that would not even be on the Democratic Party's agenda had it not been for the presidential campaign of Senator Bernie Sanders, yet there's someone who wants to take some credit for it. So Hillary Clinton broke her week-long silence on Twitter to state, delighted that Governor Cuomo proposed free college for people making less than $25,000 in New York, a plan Senator Sanders and I worked hard on. Oh, you mean the plan that you adopted to get him to drop out on a door shoe that you never talked about until you discovered that 1/3 of millennials were not voting for you and that they were going third party? That plan? Is that the one you're talking about, Hillary? She's shameless. She's absolutely shameless. And I'm not just talking about this because I like making fun of Hillary Clinton. I'm talking about this because it's very important that Bernie Sanders gets credit for this, because Bernie Sanders has a lot of populist, progressive ideas that I want to catch on, that I desperately want to catch on. So if politicians see that Bernie Sanders' free college tuition plan is in fact popular, then maybe they'll start looking at his other plans, like a $15 minimum wage, like a single-payer healthcare system. And so I want the Bernie Sanders effect to continue. This is not the Hillary Clinton effect that you're seeing. This is the Bernie Sanders effect. So Hillary Clinton, you don't get any credit for this. Sorry, Bernie Sanders is the one who gets credit. So I'm really proud of Bernie Sanders because he took a presidential campaign that was epic and he is turning it into something that's honestly unbelievable. I never thought that he would had this big of an impact if he wasn't actually elected as president, but he is. He's proving me wrong, and I love it. So keep it up, Bernie. This is great.
Support this podcast by joining the independent progressive media revolution today at humanistreport.com.